Khan 8, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash Yahweh, who the world inwardly calls God, Yahweh Shah, who the world inwardly calls Jesus. I want to give it honor to the apostles, who great millstone hearts taught me this truth. I want to give it peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth who teach this truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Low willing videos edifying. Lord, I can get some from this video. Quick video through the Spirit. Real quick video, man. I'm gonna grab a couple precepts here in Amos, the 9th chapter, and if any other precepts come to mind, I'll grab it as well. Matter of fact, that being said, let me grab this real quick, because you have this coming, which is prophecy. What is, I think it's 10. Yeah, this is Obadiah 1. So like it. Obadiah 1. Yep, Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, it's talking about Esau, right? It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Who's confederate, right? All the heathen are in cahoots with the so-called white man, okay? But as prophecy says, as the scriptures say, the beast shall hate the whore. All these nations are going to eventually come against the whore being this modern day Babylon. And the ultimate destruction is going to be by way of thermonuclear missiles. Okay, 200,000, which is 200 million missiles. That's prophesied to be shot upon as modern day Babylon. Okay, this is Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Okay, now, for all the people who say, oh, well, you know, Esau doesn't exist anymore. This is a prophecy that hasn't happened yet. Esau does exist, right? But there's a thing called covering cast, right, over the world, right, which, you know, people don't use their biblical name because it's biblical names for people, for different nations of people on the earth, right? But when you have a covering cast, or when you have basically a lie, right, you replace things, you replace different tribal names and different nations' names and all that type of shit, right? And what happens is that ministers confusion, right? It brings nothing forth but confusion, because now people are searching for people are going to be searching for who they are, right? Or people are not going to know who they are, right? People are not going to know who Edom is. It's going to lead people to say, oh, the Edomites are done away with. No, they're not done away with. Okay? When in history did his counterparts, or the nations that were confederate with him, come against him? When did that happen? It hasn't happened yet. Okay? The most wicked man on the planet Earth is the Edomite man. The most wicked nation on the planet Earth is Edomites, all the tribes of Edom. Okay? It says, well, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, right? For the violence against the so-called black man, so-called Native American man, so-called Latino man and woman, there are things that you're going to have to pay for, right? You're going to have to pay for with your life. You're going to have to pay for with slavery. You're going to have to pay for with its extinction eventually. Okay? Who's more wilder? Who's more wicked? Look at the history, man. I did this on ChatGPT a couple months ago. I said, what's the so-called white man's history, and does he have the most violent history? And basically, it agreed, right? It said, yeah. Now the reason why I say basically it agreed is because it gives you different. It'll say, oh, the Greeks did this, the Romans did this. You know what I'm saying? The people, these people did that, but not knowing that all of those people are Edomites. And really, the Greeks and all that, they took those names. You know what I'm saying? They're not the real Greek. They took those names, but that's another video, right? You know what I'm saying? So these people are vagabonds, man, and they're liars. Okay? You got Edomites in Hawaii talking about their Hawaiian. Like wherever they go, they just become the people, right? If you look even in the movies, these niggas, they Egyptians, they Israelites. You know what I'm saying? They're the Romans, they're the Greeks, they're everybody. You know what I'm saying? And no other nation exists. Stop it. Fucking cut it out, man. And you tell me this is not the man to sin? You tell me this man is not wicked? Look at the Renaissance period itself. That wasn't wicked. Come on, man. That was real life plagiarism to the T. You know what I'm saying? They blew off statues. They knows why did they do that? Why? That was done strategically. Why? So they could hide who was in power, and you people believe in a lie. And when we bring out the truth, it's hate. No, it ain't hate. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. But you don't like the truth, right? Let me get this. Summon, man, dark. Let's see if it pop up like that. Darkness, light. Ooh-wee. Let me see. Where is it at? In the light. Nation, the light, on the world. Because of these evil answer right there. But I think it's another one. We can read this. This is the point. It says, and this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Okay, this is for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Right? Yeah. So they don't come into the light is just truth. Right? They don't come into this light. At least their deeds be reproved. Jake don't come into, come on, man. You don't have lines out there on the highways and byways, man. You don't have that. You don't have, a bunch of Jake out there with notepads and pens and writing down notes. They don't have that, man. You know what I mean? You don't have that. Because secretly, they don't want anything to change. It just sound good when it sound good. It sound great to hear that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to be on top. That sound good to a nigga, right? Until you tell a nigga he got to change his ways. Till you tell a nigga that the so-called white man can't be saved. Till you tell a nigga the truth, huh? Come on, man. So they stay in the darkness. But whatever stumbling block that's keeping you from coming into the truth, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord didn't want you, ultimately. Okay? And that's the harsh thing, about this. Is like, it's scary. You know what I mean? It's scary. I ain't gonna say it's harsh. I'm gonna take that back a lot. But I'm gonna say it's scary. You know what I mean? Because you got souls that didn't believe, but you got souls in the wilderness that didn't believe after seeing the miracles. So these are those same souls. So that's why I'm gonna say it's not harsh. You know what I'm saying? It's really justified. This is Amos 9. It's like, yeah. I'm outside, man. Gotta make sure it's dark out here. a lot of motherfuckers walking through the neighborhood just, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's Amos 9. You know, I had it here. Amos 9 and 10. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Right, and that's coming. Okay. It says, and the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Right, the house of David is being woken up. Right, it says that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all of the heathen which are called by the name, said by my name, said the Lord Yahweh, that doeth this. Let me run it back. It says that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen. Remember, they're confederate, right? They're going to be in chains as well, along with Edom. They're going to, the nations they're not going to be extinct. They're going to be, in subjection under us, but Esau will be too. But after that, a time, he's going to be destroyed, just like it says in Obadiah, right? There should be no more remaining of the house of Esau. Okay. It says that they may possess the remnant of Edom. That hasn't happened yet. It says and of all the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord Yahweh, that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, right? And you nations are going to build the waste cities, okay? You nations are going to build up our kingdom. That's part of you. You can read that in Isaiah 60 and 10, right? You can read that in Isaiah 14. Start at the second verse. I think it's in the third verse, if I'm not mistaken. Third or fourth verse, it says, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof, and they shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled out of their land, which I have given them, saith the Lord Yahweh, that power, which proves that we're not in a land right now. So when you read throughout the scriptures, the Lord always says that he's going to bring us back to the land, which means we're not in a land as a whole right now. So those scriptures say, bastards shall dwell in Ashdod, and that's exactly what's going on. So Israelites, right, that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, we will be back in the land. We will take over the world, the universe. We will police it with the law of the Most High. We will have you nations in subjection. That's period, man. That's biblical prophecy, okay? This current rulership will be destroyed. This modern-day Babylon, a.k.a. America, will be destroyed by way of thermonuclear missiles. It's in the scriptures. It's prophecy, okay? It is what it is. It's the truth, man. Scripture talking about Babylon being burnt with fire. Ancient Babylon wasn't burnt, wasn't destroyed. Scripture talk about this place won't be inhabited anymore. Ancient Babylon is people still over there. So what is it talking about? When it talks about a bow being shot from one part of the earth to the other part of the earth that kindles a fire, when you read that in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, what is that talking about? Is that talking about an actual bow? No, it's talking about a missile that go from one part of the earth to the other part of the earth and blow up shit. Okay? The arrows that he shoot are sharp, and they should not miss when they begin to be shot to the end of the world, to the ends of the world. So, hey, man, it's in the Bible, period. So with that, man, Lord, us edifying, Lord, I can gossip from this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kakadash, and let's keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.